I got this shirt on. It says Canada. I'm not proud of it. You won't get off fossil fuels, so I'm leaving. I'd get off this right away. This phone's not working. I'm spiritual. I'm deeply spiritual. I don't believe a God which says uh, we have dominance destroy the world, the fossil fuels. Everywhere I go, it's all this climate denying and stuff. I'm thinking of Costa Rica. My pension goes far. I wouldn't put money into oil back dump. I'll put money into a country that is using renewable or just low cost of living. Communist? I'm not a communist. I'm an egalitarian anti-fossil fuel. Okay, and I got called. I don't like this manosphere bunch, but listen, I was your age too. It's tough, eh? Well, I never had dating apps. I never had dating apps. And it's always my buddies introduced me to their sisters. And I started playing in a band. But I don't like Canada because you won't get off fossil fuels. He goes up and down the road on a damn muscle car. They're all right-wing extremists, oil munging morons. I'm Green Party. But we can't get in because you screw the system up with your anger. Yeah, your anger makes me sick. Canada's got to change. It should have, he was moving a little bit off fossil fuels. As far as I'm concerned, he shouldn't have put that pipeline through. Who gets the money? Who gets the money? Who gets the money for carbonization? Who gets that money? Anywhere there's oil, you stay out of, because if you're an environmentalist, I've studied this for years. I'm for Al Gore. I'm tired of YouTube and Facebook. I just want to write books and get away from noise and traffic and fossil fuels. And I was reading Harold Smith Fincher's life in the 1970s. What were we talking about? Going back to draft horses. Why not? There's no sacredness anymore. They're killing draft horses in Alberta. Why? Because they want to stick onto the system. The system's all controlled. Am I a woman? Somebody said I was a woman. No, I don't think so. I just got more grounding from being a hater. I don't hate people, but I hate fossil fuels. I hate high taxes going up to oil countries. Yeah, I could go up to Alberta and cash in on get money there. But I gotta listen to all the garbage. I don't want to listen to any more right-wing extremism. And oil. I hated Stephen Harper. Cursed to Alberta, BC. When they had the hockey game on, I had the hockey. I was a madman. I really hate oil. So that's your economy. Well, look what she's done now. They promised you the moon, kids. You see, guys, I can get along with your girlfriends, but I get hacked for dating them because you don't want anything to do with them. He was getting, I date younger women. Why? Because I'm nice to them. You're a bunch of, you got problems with women. All this rubbish. Don't drink. I don't smoke. But I drink. And I just think medical racket's pretty bad. I almost got killed by psychiatry. I had a burnout years ago. A damn burnout. What? I was driving taxi. My mother was dying of Parkinsonian disease. Why was that? Oh, you don't want to hear this. It was chemicals in the farm fields. There were chemicals everywhere. So, am I a vegan? I like fish once in a while. But I sure don't like oil. Oil's been my enemy. I'm mad? Yeah, oil's been my enemy. Fossil fuels, amount of traffic. My doggy was run over when I was a little boy. Oh, we're entitled to run him over. He used to have just killing animals. So I'd be an animal justice, but it's being hell. Do I like hunters? No. Am I gay? No. I don't hate gay people. I can talk to them. They're not so screwed up. I get angry. Not eating food right because they've overstimulated the markets. You know, you're debt yuppie parents. I'm a boomer, man. And I like to sit and just drink a coffee or a beer and not be bothered by a bunch of maniacs going around there saying, hey, boomer, you did it. What? Bull. I'll tell you what that is. That's Grandma Jones, right-wing extremism. Or is it left-wing? There's no democracy in Canada. There hasn't been for years. Come on. What's democracy? People can talk freely about environmentalism. It's not my country anymore. You've destroyed it. Stephen Harper be in jail. David Suzuki said it. I'm not drunk. My feet aren't good. But Stephen Harper should be in jail. Mike Harris, I'd throw him in jail. Who else? Jason Kinney. He's not too bad, but that other guy, Andrew Horvath. He's Jorgen Peterson. Exactly a man I can't stand. You know, and it's just pushed me to the point of anti-psychiatry, I studied psychology, positive psychology, not drug pushing. So I got kicked off of here for saying something. Drugs don't work. They don't work. They just numb you. But everybody's numbed out. But you can't drink beer now. What the hell's this? How much do you drink? I won't take drugs. I almost died. Okay, guys, don't go to a shrink. They're no good. And look at the way what I think it is it's the old order of judgment systems. God does not judge. God does not hate. I did leave the church. I went to Australia and I was scuba diving. I didn't realize God's in beauty and nature, but he is not in ideologies of attacking women. Am I gay? No, I stand for women's rights. I didn't like what that reverend said. She was wearing a miniskirt at the time. You know what that is? A miniskirt is just something of the time. They said you're tempting young men. You're tempting young men. She walked out of the church. I walked out too. That day I became a devout atheist. But I believed in it. It didn't feel right. I've been a sensitive young man. I don't like cars because they ran over my dog. I was shot by a driving taxi here. I had rounds fired at me. So I quit driving. I got a driver's license. I want an electric car called hydrogen electric. I rode motorcycles. I drove trucks. Things didn't serve me anymore. Quit driving and started walking. But you need to drive around Canada. The price of taxis and stuff. I drove taxi for a long time. In my day, when I drove taxi, the taxi was $1.25 go across town. Well, it's about $10, $20. And when I talked to the owner about that, he says, "You're right. It was price fixing." We didn't know anything. We didn't know the economy would overbloom. We didn't know. I was in horse racing. I hear that's demonized. I wanted to get to Australia, but they won't do a tax agreement on me. I've talked to lawyers. Well, that's your fault. I've lost the whole house, everything. My brother I was living with, and I couldn't get any help. I was on Ontario disability. I didn't want on. I want back to work. Conservative wouldn't give me funds to get my business started. I got my pension. I can't live in that calling. It's a dump hole. It's been 5 years coming back to get legal action. Nothing. I got shot at. He got out in 2.5 years. I'm on the side of the police, but I'm not on the side of injustice. And I think lawyers are on the take. I think they're on the take. It's not a justice system. You need a lawyer. And I'm just leaving. But in the time I've been here, I've been thinking about ministry. I never hated women. I think I had an issue with my mother. We weren't very close until I explored what she went through. I traveled and went to Australia. She was part Aboriginal. She never told me. And then I started liking all races of people. I just don't feel a difference in them. Black, white, brown skin, red skin, Asian. I don't have hatred. Just hatred for ideologies. Jesus said, hate the sin. What's the sin? Well, look at all the ideologies. Oil sector, climate denial. The haters on here. The manosphere. Angry young men. Yeah, I feel for you. It's hard to get a girlfriend in this age. Yeah, they're all on that stupid social media. This thing's working, but I think we've damaged the world with social media. I really do. I went to college in 1977, and I graduated. I couldn't take the horse racing. It was drugging racehorses. Money coming across from the States. Gangster money. So it's a crime zone. It's all crime. The housing market's all drug money, everything. What I think looking around marijuana, I don't want legal marijuana. I'm a holistic practitioner. I want you to get on to natural therapies, plant-based medicine, not tripping out on something. So here we're talking about plant-based diet. No, we're talking about addictions. I'm putting the coffee on. That's an addiction. What's an addiction? Let's define it. I was an alcoholic. I do drink. And I get this all the time. What's an addiction? It's when you're running away from something. I'm running away from Canada because of their environmental standards. They just, here, Paul Apple is doing a scheme there to get you not to vote for carbon tax. Carbon tax isn't what's costing the money. It's all these other excess taxes like education. No, it's our healthcare system. It's rubbish. The Canadian healthcare. My friend left for Texas. He did a hysterectomy on her. Really nice. He's going to play golf. He went to play golf. She's 22 years old and lost her husband. I don't, I could get mad at my buddy there for divorcing her and going out with another woman and having a baby. He wanted to have a child. Young men do. And he was young then, he's younger than me. So she went to Austin, Texas, became my head administrator. She's a friend of mine. But I really felt bad about it. She wrote a book about it. And I read it, and I didn't know that was her life story. They did a hysterectomy on her. What a bunch of racketeers. Hysterectomy on a 22-year-old. So now they're giving people assisted death in Canada. Integrated medicine would work better than this. Integrations. I'm integrated veterinary care for horses. And I don't like all the dogmas against Reiki and stuff. I get feeling that this isn't going to work here. My friend's a billionaire. He got out of Canada. He told me he should move down to Costa Rica. They always say there's something bad about it. It's a jump-off point for me. Because I think Australia's going to come up in the world with the renewable sector. But right now, the cost of living's high. I got no money, but I got a Canada pension. And what I'm thinking of it is they're very, these girls left. They said, kiss my butt. They were environmentalists, young women. They left. They went to Costa Rica. They just couldn't get anywhere with the yo-yos that were against renewable energy. It's crazy. Are they economists? Are they economists? No. What's these policymakers? Policymakers is a politician with a political agenda. And the political agenda is to get in power, but it's not, and make the mind hack people all believe that this will save them money. I've seen lots of money saving come in and tell my brother they're going to save money, and I found out he hacked them up to $75,100 a year. Money saving. They're crooks. Everybody tells you you're going to save money. Yeah, explore it. So renewable energy, and they're working for Ireland with an algae program and growing good coffee. I think I'll go to Costa Rica. I might have to learn to speak another language, but I can't live here. It's too expensive. I find apartments, they're small, useless places, and I find women renting them out, and I don't want to be with any women right now. They're so right-wing. Hating Canadians, hating environmental Green Party members. There's an electric car. Cheers. The car called. See the junk on here? Car called. It's time to clean up on something happened to Twitter. It's cleaned up a lot. They got a lot of those climate deniers and idiots up there. But I get a lot of, he said, are you a woman? I'm more a man than you. Because a man respects a woman. And you're a hater. You're running down Pierre Elliott Trudeau and saying it's a infidel. Fidel Castro, I'd live in Cuba. Is it a communist country? What the hell's communist? China's got a good economy. I'm not talking about I read Karl Marx and he was right. But they came into extremisms. We studied it for years. We hated Richard Nixon. We were hippies. We didn't like him. We knew things were up. And we were studying politics, and he split. He says, hey, man, get away from the isms. What's the ism? All this psychology, psychiatry, psychiatric racket. I'm a holistic practitioner. I used to go to naturopathic doctor when I could afford it. And I got, wow, I don't get well on this stuff. Just pills. Don Toolman left Utah. Why? Big Pharma. She's a Reiki master over there. She always happens quietly. Big Pharma. When we can get people well on plant-based diet. I've had a lot of trouble not charging for Reiki. Well, I might get my license to practice here, but I got to get some money out of the system. Waiting for my pension check to come in. My phone broke down. But I could work here till I'm out ready to fly off. I'd rather go to Australia. But I'm disappointed I can't get legal help to sue those kids. Actually, I think I can in Ottawa. So they say you want to go up to Ottawa and kick Trudeau in the butt. No, I'll shake his hand. I'm pro-Trudeau. I'm anti-Fidel, anti-right-wing extreme bastard there named Pierre Pollock. He lies to you all the time. He lies. Don't trust him. He's a Hitler. He'll ruin Canada. And he's not going to lower the housing market. Come on. Do you believe that? Where is the housing market going up? It's brokers that got free capitalistic market system It's overcharging housing. It's the profit land of deregulated political system. Walkerton, right wing, they died of E. coli and blamed it on the guy that put the thing there. Deregulation. Mike Harris. He went to trial. They didn't do anything with him. Stephen Harper, he had a finance minister there that made sense. Start lowering the income. And we were watching him in the Green Party years ago, and we were laughing, actually, because he was going, you're saying this Flaherty. Yeah. He was just shooting his mouth off. See, they're pocket lined by the energy sector. Farley Mowat said they store energy more than they need to. And then they sell it off to you, every little puppy out there. And when you make a lot of money in the oil fields, you don't seem to save much. You go out and pick up women and truck around. I'd be all over Canada. I wouldn't live in the oil sector. That's the whole problem. It's that tar sands out there. You know, the equalization payments were in 1867. They made the provinces all one. They had an agreement of equalization payments, right? Listen to me. The equalization payments goes to BC and Alberta because they have oil and gas out there. Did you know that? So they tell everybody, and they've got a bunch of zombies going around here. I don't believe in climate change. Well, when Stephen Harper was in, our climate scientists left. They had to. There was a gag order on them. It hasn't changed. Look at the fires up there. Look at the fracking. Oh, fracking, yeah. Fracking's been destroying and causing earthquakes in different parts of Canada. Yeah, it's true. Indigenous rights, they'll never heal that until you get rid of the fossil fuel sector. The greed. The greed's destroying this country. Right-wing extremism of fear. You can make an honest living, live in this country, but you don't. I looked at all the Green Party platforms. They're the best party in Canada as far as I'm concerned. But it'll never be green. It's too late until it crashes. You don't think it's going to not crash? She'll crash. She'll be so poor here. But I'm not going with you. Seems like I'm going to have to do a bucket hop, and he told me I should leave. He's a billionaire. He knows what's happening. Well, he graduated in 82. I graduated in 77, 78, yeah, out of Algonquin. Now, Shane was studying printing. Yeah, he was a printer, and he started a printing firm, and he made $2 million first 2 years, or built it up and just kept on going and building it up and building it up. Bob Proctor did too, and he was just what did he do? He'd go to university? No, he started cleaning offices and he amalgamated them all together, and he built up and built up and built up and built up. They were reading Napoleon Hill, Shane Moranis. So he knows the economy in the United States is 30. These guys say 37 trillion. I think things are not hidden away or here. They say we're at 1.4 trillion. Yeah. I think it's hidden away because the Bank of Canada got scammed online for $9 billion. What was it? $9 billion? Yeah, oh, who else got scammed? The province of Nova Scotia's health records. So everybody's they scammed them off. What's a good country now? Isms. That's the problem. And healthcare? Well, Alberta's got better healthcare in Ontario. But I don't really use healthcare. I use food and nutrition. I don't go to the doctor every time I get a problem. But I do have a problem with the diet here. They only give you so much food on the food bank, and I'm not going to live here. This is it. I'm done. What's costing me money is Wi-Fi and cellular. Just sucking me dry. Yeah, rent and the food prices, and the restaurants are terrible prices. I'm lonely here. I woke up. I don't want to be hearing climate deniers. I don't want to hear people that are manosphere eating young women. I don't want to see girls getting raped, which I'm seeing. And I was always on the side of women, but it doesn't mean I'm gay. But my sexual drive's just dropped off. I think it's part of my spirituality. And I'm not interested in right-wing extreme capitalistic bitches. No, I wouldn't date one. She looked pretty hot, but she was investing in fracking in the cut restaurant. Looks like a piece of manure. I wouldn't invest in that stuff or any commodity or crypto. No, I wouldn't invest in that. He invested in a substitute for coffee. He made billions. He's flying a Lear. He's flying a private jet. Lives the life of happiness. He's a Canadian investor, but he wouldn't invest. Says the markets are crazy here. She's going to crash, Greg. So's the United States. I know it is. So Shane invested in Kinesis. And one of the best blockchain companies in the world that invest in gold and silver. So there's only two places for gold and silver now. Well, three. Switzerland, Zurich, Switzerland, private vaults. Texas, and Australia. And that's where they're going to store it, private, because the fiat currencies are going down. So I read The End of Growth, so I really don't listen to too much. Eisenberg's study of The End of Growth. We've gone over the limit. Am I against medicine? Sometimes it helps. You know, my wife had a fall. I fixed her up, put her together, broke her hips. But what was causing her diabetes, everything? Food. All and poor health care. Poor health care. Nice lady comes in here and helps me. She's 44. I don't want to talk about weight, but she's drinking Coke all the time. That's a bad substance, Coca-Cola. Even Diet Coke. It'll rot your teeth. Your weight goes up. Which is worse? Having 2 beers and a coffee? That's black coffee. Which is worse? Well, you get it behind the car, you're angry, and you're drinking, you shouldn't do that. I'll be into a middle point. But I do drink. I like a beer. And I hate listening to absolute rubbish on here. I block them. I do drink, but I don't drink to excess. I have control in my life. I don't manhandle women on dates. Not yet. I don't feel like it. I think that's why I'm more available to younger women. But they think it's disgusting. They're manhandling me. I'm sitting in a bar not bothering anybody, and the guy's acting like a big shot ego, and his girlfriend just hitting on me. Hitting? She's got her body up against me, touching me all over in my zipper. And I'm trying to watch the hockey and have some French fries and a beer. I'm 68 years old. I've never thought of dating a younger woman. I'll tell you what I have a problem with as an awakened man. Nobody's really into spiritualism around here. There's a few. They're a lot younger, way younger. And I find them amazing. They're the new awakening. And they live alone and they just keep to themselves. They tell me about their spiritual awakening. 23 years old? They're crystal children. They're earth angels. I know they are. And they just are just beyond understanding. I'm 68 and I see a very awakened man. They're nice young ladies. If a man that was spiritual is in depth of awakening, he might get them. But he'd have to get off all this social media stuff. Quit listening to hate and judgments. Yeah, I feel frustrated at times. That's part of my rage. But hate and judgments is terrible. Funny, the transitions in my life, I was really sick with, I think I was overwhelmed. And who hasn't burned out from a job? I was working 12 hours a day and night, driving taxi to live in Collingwood. The prices were going up. But I wanted to live with my mother and look after her. And I put up with this, and I married a woman that wasn't right for me, but that was an experience. Was it a divorce I wanted? No, I just wanted a separation. But it ended up a divorce. She wouldn't leave me alone because she's got issues with. Do I hate her? No, I don't hate her, but she hates me. As I changed, I wanted to get well. I went to True Hope and Power. I got that, and I studied Reiki. I got very well. So I got a different opinion about bipolarity. I don't think it was bipolarity. I think it was a misdiagnosis of compound PTSD. So am I anti-psychiatry? No, just a methodology of putting drugs into people's heads like that. True Hope got me well. Raymond, Alberta. I promote them every time. They got me off all those chemicals. They were killing me. I was 60 years old. It was the day of my birthday. And I just felt like jumping out in front of a car. I couldn't understand it. I wasn't depressed. But I was going to jump out in front of a car. I told the therapist when I went to the clinic. She called the police and put me in the hospital. Funny way it worked. I was very spiritually awakening. I started caring about those police officers. I started telling them, how are you? How are you doing, officer? You seem to care. Yeah, I care. And that's how things changed in my life. Instead of putting others before, I was in trouble. The chemicals were in my head so much. It was a drug called Latuda. It was too high a dose. They were reading these things. Drug companies come in there and tell a psychiatrist, this is good for bipolar. Nothing was working. Nothing worked. Lithium. I was drinking Coke because the taste of lithium was terrible. It wasn't working. I wasn't hearing voices. I just had a bit of a depression. I went to one of those guys and they labeled me. I bought the label like a hook. I was very influenced by this is a good thing. This is the way they talk to you. It's a good thing, Greg. You're highly creative. I am highly creative. But I'm not creative if I can't use my fingers, play the piano, or write. And have my physicality of no tremors and stuff. So I went off all those drugs. But the label stayed with me. Bipolar. It's like you've committed a crime. It's called stigma. So I I was always getting analyzed by doctors because I was quiet. Have you ever had that? Mother said, there must be something wrong with my boy. He's quiet. Well, she's working all the time. Nursing, giving her life away to others. But she forgot about her son. I was the only boy there. Brothers are all working. I lived out in the country. I was communicating with animals and stuff. And I found out I was part Aboriginal. And then I got across Canada and it was First Nations that realized I'm like them, an energy healer. My shaman, she says in Arizona, a woman said, I think you're a horse shaman. I said, how can you pick up these things about my horse? I'm a psychic with horses. But I talk to other horse psychics, they can't even talk about it because the psychiatry racket. If it's any good, why doesn't it cure? Why doesn't it cure? I want to see cures. I don't see them. I saw you coming out with assisted death for bipolarity and all these illnesses. You're like Nazis. I think Canada's healthcare has gone garbage. The integration would be better. Integrated medical system. I went to marijuana doctors. They said, don't go to them. Let's talk about CBD. It's never been tested, they say. Like we have tests on this. There was no test. They deregulate all the drugs. So True Hope was shut down. Did you know that? Federal government shut them down. But they sued them and got back on the going. They were telling me things that you're taking pig pills. So I quit listening to them. It worked. It's just I knew enough. So I dropped out of agricultural college because of the chemical fertilizers, chemical on farm fields. I dropped out. It didn't make sense. Because one class was, and I was right. It was an intuition that these sprays, I don't like them. Well, they're killing microbials on soil. Somebody qualified me in Prague as a business development. You do good research. Psychologist down in the United States says, I think you're right. He's a professor. You're a digger. You're a researcher. Well, this is what I found. Rates of these GMOs and pesticides were killing the microbials in the soil. Rachel Carson came out about that time with Silent Spring. Mother died of DDT toxin. I'm not going to listen to any more of that. It caused Parkinsonian disease. It's not hereditary, like they say. It's a scapegoat. So DDT was banned in 1971. I look around that area, people are dead. Carcinogenic cancers and everything. These pesticide sprays and stuff. They're all derivatives of fossil fuels. So we could get regenerative agriculture like we used to have. Crop rotation. I know they're talking about it. You hear the professors in Guelph. She said it right. What the hell are we doing? One trick pony crop production. Soy, soy, soy. Corn, corn, corn. It makes sugars that are killing us. Artificial foods. So she got kicked out of New Zealand. She resigned. What'd she do right? She got rid of commodity markets for farmers. Having farmer aid and bailing them out, it's like not a bucket with holes in it. You gotta get rid of commodity market. They did work for farmers, but now they don't. But farmers are addicted to them, or they're paid by them to keep their farms. That might be ransomed. Listen to this stuff. Dutch farmers protesting because they getting rid of glycogens on farm fields. It could be telling them if you don't do that, we'll take your ranch. Could be. And I looked who was putting that up, a cryptocurrency company. I don't invest in that stuff. I want to get back to gold and silver and money. I want to live somewhere where it's quiet. I can life coach and say what I think. I got a website. I'll develop it. Now, am I going to go anti-medicine? I got one strike against me. I don't give a damn. I'm not taking your courses about YouTube. I'm not giving misinformation. So cut me off. I'll go to another site. I'll just use my own website. I don't need you. That's what I'm thinking. What the hell was that about? Misinformation. I'll tell you misinformation. Pharmaceuticals, doctors telling you that don't drink, it'll kill you. Don't do this, don't touch yourself. It's all rhetoric and rubbish. I don't think YouTube's worth using anymore. If they give me a point against me and a strike and they said I had to take a course, nah. I'll say what I think, YouTube. I think you're controlled by the pharmaceutical industry. I don't care. I think you're a racketeer. So you've taken over the media and you're, Google came out with a good plan now. What do I get in Google now? Reddit. Hello. Terrible programs now. This is a Chromebook. It's Google based. I don't know what to think. I think the companies are getting corrupt. I'm not happy with Google now. They become a conglomerate monopoly. Who controls the monopoly? Big Brother. Fed up with YouTube. Not very happy.